Hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's episode of, the Xbox Factor podcast. I'm your host, Mr. BoomStick XL. And ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that we are going to have a really, really great time today. Yes, we're early, folks. We are 30 minutes earlier than the scheduled 12 p.m. that I had advertised. And you know why? Because I'm a nerd and I'm hyped as F. Here is the trailer, the reveal trailer. I'm just going to keep looping it, folks. I have invited a bunch of people. The regular cast and crew should be here momentarily. Of course, that is Infinite Umbra and Jamie Moran. We also have Psychonauts that will be joining us. And we're going to try and get everybody in and out and just hang out for the next, hour and 15, because, oh my freaking goodness, ladies and gentlemen, did you just see with your human eyes what I just witnessed? That is the Oblivion remake. I don't care what they call it. They can call it a remaster all they want. That looked insane. Let's welcome in the people here. So far, we got 72 people here. And again, we're half an hour earlier than normal. Quanta Terrible, what's up, brother? We have here MDog86. He says, "Oh my God, that was insane. I'm honestly speechless after that reveal." So listen, folks, I want you to hang out with us. I want you to celebrate with us. Xbox gamers won today once again. And again, if you're on PC, if you're on PlayStation, you're going to be able to buy the game. But Xbox players, they did not. I don't know if maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't. There is a deluxe upgrade for this game. It's $10, and it gives you it gives you weapons, it gives you skins, it gives you armor, gives you a bunch of stuff. You know what? To be honest with you, I just spent the $10. I don't even know what it came with. I literally just tweeted about it. What can I say? We're gonna let's see. We have Pascal here. Greco says, "Mark my words. This being called a remaster, setting expectations low, and being this good will garner a lot of positivity and acclaim." Yeah, bro, that's a great point. I mean, obviously, when we heard it was going to be a remaster, a lot of people, like Greco was just saying, kind of lowered their expectations, because we know what remasters usually look like, right? They're just screens that are stretched out or a kind of fresh coat. This is so beyond anything I could have imagined. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm like super into working out and taking care of this old man body to make sure that the NYPD keeps paying me my pension, right? I'm skipping the workout today. As soon as this show is done, folks, whenever that may be, an hour, hour and 15, I am at, let's see, 99% downloaded. If you didn't know, you can download the game right now. It's on your splash screen when you turn on your Xbox. I actually started downloading it from my phone, which is awesome. And it worked like a charm. My console came up. You saw it. I tweeted about it. It said the 2 terabyte ready to go. Boom, installing. I mean, I'm so excited, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard me say this before, and I'm going to reiterate it right now. This is my favorite Bethesda RPG of all time. I still have the original. I have the cloth map. I got the coin. The box is in perfect condition. It's not sealed. I saw one on eBay sealed for like $1,200. I wish I had it sealed. I probably still wouldn't sell it, but my God, ladies and gentlemen, is this crazy? I mean, look, I'm going to sound like a lunatic, but do we deserve this? Do Xbox gamers, do gamers at all deserve this greatness? Because look, if you would have told me a year ago, 2 years ago, and remember, we saw a glimpse of the possibility of this happening through the court documents, right? Like, that actually happened when those court documents were supposed to be, black labeled, and unfortunately they were kind of posted when they weren't supposed to be. And we know, or at least it's said, that they were remaking Oblivion and remaking Fallout 3. And we were all excited. I mean, just on the piece of paper that said that they're remaking this, and I would have never thought that this was possible. I mean, like, honestly, for a guy that speaks 5 days a week live on the air, I'm a bit speechless. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I am, and I'm just kind of rolling with the punches. I want to welcome in. We already have MDog86. He says, I still have the original collector's edition as well. I love that coin. Zemi Games, I don't know if anyone remembers Zemi. Zemi was a big part of Double Barrel Gaming for years. I wish he went off to get his master's. He's doing his own thing right now. I haven't podcasted with him in a while. He must be going crazy right now because his dream, and I hope that it comes to fruition, is he wanted to get a chest, like a treasure chest, and get these Oblivion coins made up in the hundreds, and to simply just fill it and have it as a collector's item. I freaking love that idea. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a brilliant idea. Let's see. Yeah, Ross M in the chat says, I see the deluxe edition upgrade in the store, but nothing in Game Pass yet. Yeah, don't even sweat it, dude. Just go and type in Oblivion Remastered, and you're gonna see the game come up. It's gonna say install. You'll be able to find it that way. I didn't see it in Game Pass, but if you go and you turn on your Xbox, I believe the third square on the bottom, you're going to see it there. Just simply click it A, and it'll just install. You'll be good to go. Chris V, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for being here. So Ninja Squirrel 30 says in the UK, it's in Game Pass now. So who was it that said that? I'm sorry. Ross, you know what you do? Reset your box. Simply reset the console, shut it off, and turn it back on. And you'll see it probably had to just populate, and you'll see it there. Jamie Moran just gave me a message. He'll be here in 5 minutes. I know Jamie is going to be so excited to talk about this. I mean, wow. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably crossing some lines here. I know the virtual tomatoes are coming out. Look, I know that a lot of us OGs, we kind of wish this was a celebratory event where this was an Xbox exclusive. I know that a lot of people would say that because of, the whole console war stuff and, hashtag Xbox better. The truth of the matter is this, folks. This is such a triumphant moment, at least for me as a gamer. And I'm saying it as a gamer, not as an Xbox. I'm glad everybody is getting this game. I know, again, virtual tomatoes, I'll take them, folks. It's fine. I understand that back, a couple of years ago, I was dead set against it, but I understand the business now. Oh, here's Jamie Moran. Let's bring him in. Jamie. Wow. Freaking wow, man. I mean, let me just finish my spiel. We're going to get you right in a second. We got to get your thoughts. Your excitement has got to be through the roof. But like I was saying, I'm happy everyone's getting this game because I know that this would have definitely been breaking front page news if this is an Xbox exclusive. But this did release on all the consoles back in the days. Now, of course, it ran better on the 360 than it did on the PS3. That is for sure. And on PC, it's always going to run better because, well, it's the PC. But this is one of those moments that I really want us just to celebrate as gamers. Like put down your torches, your pitchforks, and your banners and your flags. And let's just bask in the ambience, if you will, of the fact that we are getting a game that is nearly 20 years old. And you can sprint in this game. I mean, hello, 2025. Jamie Moran, I've ranted enough. I've been talking for the last, 12 minutes. Like I said, I'm speechless, but also I can't stop talking. Welcome, Jamie. Oh, my God. This was amazing. It's downloaded. I'm skipping working out today because I'm jumping right into this. The deluxe edition is $10. Jamie, how you feeling, brother? Welcome.
I'm feeling great. It's Christmas 2.0 today for me.
Oh my God. Yes, it is.
Oblivion is one of those games that I talk about all the time because it came out at such a unique time. It was one of those early 360 games where you know, it showed off the technology at the time, but also the story, the world. I've been saying this for years. It has the better main story out of all the Elder Scrolls games. I think it's better than Skyrim
Me
by
too.
a long shot. Way better
Yes.
main story. Um, and just like the world, the music, even the memes, right? The Elder Scrolls memes we've had for like decades now came from this game. Um, you know, there's lines of dialogue that aren't even finished in the game, which it was amazing at the time. And to say this, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, as I was watching this, I was thinking, please fix the three things, the three things I want put in the game. Just fix them, right? Things I've wanted since the original. And as the video was going along, they fixed everything.
Yeah. So
You know,
was Sprint one of your
yeah,
complaints?
yeah,
Yeah, mine
Sprint,
too. Yeah. Hmm.
Sprint and UI. The user interface in the original was made to look like it was like from like a ye olde, like, you know, scroll or book. Um, but when it comes to usability, it wasn't exactly the best. But this has a menu similar to Skyrim. Skyrim's menu is the best. Um, but like aesthetically, like, even like the hood elements, right? The hood elements in the original were kind of terrible. You know, the way the
Yeah.
compass worked in the original was kind of terrible. But they've done this whole Skyrim thing with this, and like, look, as much as I said that Oblivion had a better story than Skyrim, when it came to gameplay, UI, basically everything else, Skyrim's way better. So if they put in the best of both worlds together, it's going to be a great game. And like I've been saying this for, you know, ages now on Twitter, this is going to be a new Elder Scrolls game for millions of people, right?
Indeed.
So
Yeah.
when nerds like us will get to replay it with a shiny new coat of paint, uh, like people that have grown up with only Skyrim, right? This is their new game, right? And it's an exciting time. You know, some people are like, why would they shadow drop an Elder Scrolls game? And I think it's because Microsoft can.
You know, it's funny you say that. I've seen a lot of chatter. Like for instance, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 is in 2 days. That's on Thursday. But that's a multi-plat as well. I honestly cannot wait to play that. That game is a 30-hour game for me and Umbra, who should be here momentarily. That's probably around a double, to probably double or even triple that, because we like to go here, there, and everywhere. But it's a game that can be done in under 100 hours for people like us, right? This is different. This is different. This is a three. I think I put 300 hours into the original. I went looking. They didn't even tally the hours. I can tell you, I think I have 860 or 890 of the achievements out of the 1260. So I'm a few short. Iman Burns, who's in the chat, who's freaking out right now, actually has all of the achievements. So shout out to Iman Burns for that, brother. So Alvarez says, boom, I'm so hyped for this. First time gonna play Oblivion, downloading it now. Look, folks, I want to say this. Jamie, you said it before. This is one of those things. I'm gonna be all over the place because I'm like super excited and I'm a nerd. I apologize if there's no direction to this particular podcast where it's just gonna be us gushing, because that's what it's gonna be about, and we're gonna get some more people in here. But I have to say this, ladies and gentlemen, if you are someone who didn't have a 360 or PS3 at the time, never, I'm sure you've heard of Oblivion, but never played it. Maybe your first entry is, a 5 rather than 4, in Skyrim. I'm here to tell you that there are a couple of things. One, I'm super jealous of you right now, because you're getting to see this in the best. I mean, back in the days when Todd Howard was talking about this game, um, that was, like Jamie said, was the best of the best of the best at that time. Right now, because we're such spoiled gamers, we go and we look at these games from 2006, and you're like, it's like the meme, like the guy. It's like that. But if you are experiencing this, my God, what a day for you. And the other thing, we got to talk the business part of this, right? Like, can anyone honestly say that Xbox Game Pass, like if are you not subscribed to Xbox Game Pass? Look, folks, I don't get anything from Microsoft. I get to review stuff. Don't get me wrong, but they don't let me do that because I say Game Pass 1,000 times a month, right? Like I say it because as a retired guy who understands that, like I know people make fun of me, has my pension is great. It does a lot for Mrs. Boom and I, but it has a ceiling. This is one of those things where just if you just are talking about we're in month 4 of 12, right? For 2025, Jamie. And if you just look at what Xbox Game Pass has delivered since January 1st to the 22nd of April, it's madness. It's honestly just madness. And again, it's one of those things. I know somebody in the chat said it. Uh, PlayStation gamers are going to be lining up at the door for Game Pass. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I don't know how you don't have Game Pass. Now, again, if you don't have an Xbox, I understand. If you don't want to play on your TV, I understand. Most PlayStation gamers, or at least the loudest ones, Jamie, said that they had rigs. Okay, go get Game Pass. Go to your favorite site that you get all your games for cheap, like cdkeys.com, which hopefully will one day be a sponsor of this podcast, and go get Game Pass. You can get a year for like $119 right now. That's half. That's half of what it costs. It's $240. You can get the whole Game Pass slate for 2025, plus what they've already had, Jamie. Let's just again, we're going to get back to Oblivion. We're going to get to it. We have a lot to talk about. But let's talk about Game Pass for a second, because how aren't you subscribed is my question.
It's a weird one because we live in an age where, the prices of everything's going up all the time. And, people complain about Netflix going up $1 every so often, cinema tickets going up $1 every so often. Yet games, it seems like it's a bragging point for a lot of people. Like, I'm going to spend this much on video games. I don't rent my video games. I bet most of the people that said that went to Blockbuster as a kid.
Yeah.
But like it's a great deal. I don't know why there's this subset of gamers. They are intent on letting people know that they do not rent games and they want to pay full price. If anything, they want to pay more. Right? These are the people that said $70 are okay for video games. These are the ones that are saying $80 is okay. I'm saying no. Do what's better for your wallet. I shouldn't be concerned what the developer's making on the back end. I want to know what my wallet's like, what my free time's like with these video games. And I want these developers to succeed, obviously, but it's not my fault that these games are costing $300 million, right? Budget your games better. But like Game Pass, the value is ridiculous. You get hundreds of games, and there's this weird misconception I think it's forced at this point, where people say that Game Pass only works because it's filled with transaction games. It's like most of the games in Game Pass are single player.
A good portion of them, and that's a great point, because if you look at what Xbox is doing and what Sony tried to do, Sony was great with their first party single player games, and they moved away from it, trying to cash in on the gas game phenomenon. Xbox has already been there. Now Xbox is doing what Sony used to do, and that is delivering a plethora of single player games. Just look at all the games that they've released this year that are single player. Avowed a single player. South of Midnight single player. This is single player. I mean, there's so many single player games that continue to come out that are Xbox first party, and they are doing it right. That's a great point, Jamie. Hey, Psychonauts, welcome, brother. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. And holy moly, was that an amazing
Oh my God. It's
trailer.
Listen,
that
folks,
they just
I'm
spent
like I said,
on
I don't
God.
I don't know how to loop it on YouTube, so I'm simply just going to rewind it, and it's going to play, and we're going to watch the opening again and again and again. But Jamie, please, by all means, finish your point, and we'll bring Psychonauts in and get his thoughts, because I think this was a jaw drop moment for gamers. Like, especially if you are an Xbox 360 and above gamer, you got to be looking at this like, first of all, Jamie, when was the last time we actually had a new Elder Scrolls game? That's not the not the multiplayer one. That's the online. Not Elder Scrolls Online. That's fine. It's been there for years. Was it like 2011 when Skyrim came out?
Yeah, 2011 when Skyrim came out, November 11th.
There you go.
And what a day that was. It's been a long time, and like I said, like Oblivion, I should say Skyrim has been the Elder Scrolls game for generations, right? If you got an Xbox 360 late that generation or PS3, well, maybe you didn't want to play Skyrim on a PS3. But like if you got a console that late that gen, you probably only played Skyrim. And Skyrim's been memed for how many different versions there've been.
Yep.
It launched in 2011. Then there was the Mac version. Then the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions came out in, I think, 2016. And then the Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 enhancements came out in 2017. And then we got Xbox Series enhancements in 2021. So, like, we've had a lot of Skyrim. It's a great game, don't get me wrong. But Oblivion, like, I think that Xbox 360 games have aged so well that not many games from that generation actually need remakes. And I've gotten into arguments online over whether this is a remake or a remaster. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter, right? If it has 100% remade visuals, in my take, in my eyes, it's a remake, right?
It's a remake. Yeah, I've been fighting the good fight with the remake versus remaster, because a remaster is exactly what it is. It's normally just a fresh coat of paint on old graphics, on old game style. They don't do much to it. This, I mean, they added sprint, they changed the hood mechanic. They've added so much to this. I don't know why they personally didn't call it a remake, but as someone in the chat earlier said, and maybe again, apologies for not remembering who it was, because it's like a whirlwind of everything going on, that they called it a remaster to go beyond expectations. Because when you hear remaster, you're like, yeah, it's gonna be okay, right? It's gonna be, I'll play it. It's got new achievements. This is ultimately a remake. That's what this is. And I got news for you, folks. Okay, so I don't want to look too far into the future, and we're still celebrating the moment, but we're all greedy gamers. And raise your hand in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, that you're thinking, wait a second, just a second. If Oblivion looks this effing good, what will Fallout 3 remake look like?
Yeah.
That's what we're all I know you're thinking it, folks. Don't lie to me. Don't lie. Don't look at the screen and lie to me. I know you're thinking it, but Jamie, please continue, sir.
When it comes to the whole remaster remake, I think like that is a good point, that it's setting expectations and blowing them out of the water, because look, like there's people arguing with me on Twitter right now. I'm not going to bother to reply to them anymore. Like, if you look at this, and by the way, this is the same studio that's doing Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Yes.
And if people say that's a remaster, they can show up to my house and I'll throw a glass of water in their face, because that is just ridiculous, right? I've played all sorts of remasters and I've played all kinds of remakes, right? This is a bloody remake, right? Crisis Core Reunion is actually a remake and a remaster at the same time. Gears of War Ultimate Edition is a remake, right? Let's see, Saints Row the Third Remastered is a remaster, right? This has complete remade visuals.
Look at the graphics on the screen.
Yeah, look at this right now. Right? Me from 2006 would faint seeing this, right? It's ridiculous. So, like, terminologies aside, like, this is a huge release. And Elder Scrolls games, like Skyrim came out in 2011. It still has a massive modern community and people that still play it daily, right? This is going to be played by millions of people. And, like, look, Xbox, they have a stacked year ahead. A lot of developers want to get their games out right now because they're all scared of the, big scary GTA.
Yeah.
And, it makes sense. But, like, the fact that they shadow dropped an Elder Scrolls game, right? That sounds crazy, because it is crazy. And, when I said the things I wanted fixing, I played through Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim in first person. That is the way. The third person camera was janky beyond belief in those games.
Yeah.
But Fallout 4 In Starfield, I played in third person, right? And the third person view in this looks fantastic, right? Proper over the shoulder style. It looks great. Like I said, with the UI and stuff. And hit detection. I've been posting clips of the original Oblivion on Twitter. Enemies don't have hit detection, right? Nothing happens when you hit enemies. So you're basically just swinging your sword in the air and you can't really tell, right? So it looks like they've put hit markers in this, which is great. It looks like the Oblivion Gate instant now, which is really nice considering we used to have like minute-long load screens. But like, I'm happy for all the people that are going to get to play this for the first time ever, because like they have no idea what they're in for, right? This is a new Elder Scrolls game. If you've played, this is a completely different pacing type game compared to Skyrim, right? Completely different type of game. This game is wonderful, right? It has some of the best quest design in RPGs. It has one of the most interesting game worlds. The music is iconic to the point where if you hear it with the first note, you know what it's from, right? And I may sound a bit giddy at the minute because I am. You know,
How could you not be?
As much as I love Oblivion, like I said, it's one of the few games from that generation that I said did need a remake.
Yeah.
That and Dragon Age Origins, which was the day it came out. But what a great looking game. And by the way, riding a horse in the original, it's so awkward.
It was weird. I haven't played in years. It's been a long time since I played. But all right. So you know what? Before I get to my points, because we have to do a deep dive here, because horse armor, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting the horse armor. All right, I have a lot to say about the horse armor, but let's bring in Psychonauts. Psychonauts, this is, look, I know that we saw some screeners.
Yeah.
But I think that it's much different than watching what you're seeing on the screen. Like, watching it in motion is literally just breathtaking. Like this, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. If this doesn't, and this is crazy, this is probably going to win Game of the Year. Now, I don't know what they're going to do at the end of the year is there going to be a remastered category? Like, it's going to go up against, Metal Gear Solid 3, or any other remasters. Are they going to have can a remaster be in Game of the Year, at the end of the year? I mean, this Psychonauts, let's get your thoughts on this. I mean, you're a fan, and you walked in today's podcast by just saying, wow, wow, wow. Let's get your thoughts, man.
Yeah, it's one of those experiences when I remember getting the 360. We're all, we were expecting this at launch date, excited.
It got delayed. It was in the launch window. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But still, we were playing. We were just waiting for Oblivion, and when it finally dropped and was able to step into that game, I loved it. I was a huge fan of Morrowind, so obviously when Oblivion was announced, and it was just nuts. And then seeing it again, and they say remastered, but holy crap, this is a remake. The amount of detail that they've done and put into this game looks better than almost anything so far, outside of Hellblade 2. But it's just gorgeous.
It's stunning. It's stunning to watch, dude. And again, when they kept going back to 2006 Psychonauts and then bringing it forward and then doing the side by side, it's like a new game, man. It literally is a new. It is, yeah.
And just sitting there and just looking at all the characters, and we've heard a lot of criticism. It looks like they're muting all the colors. This game's is it just gonna be brown? And then they show, and it's like, oh, it's not overly saturated as the first one, but it is gorgeous. It's stunning, vivid, and this showing should put a lot of criticism to bed, and I think people are just shocked that it was shadow dropped. We heard that it was, but we're like, are they really? I'm like, there's stuff coming out soon. Are they gonna wait till the X? I mean, what are they gonna show at the Xbox showcase if they shadow dropped this today? Like, they have too much, and they have
That's why I think
news?
that's happening. Honestly, Psychonauts, I think you're onto something. That's a fantastic finite point because, a couple of years ago when Matt Booty was heard speaking, we have so many games in the pipeline, we don't know what to do with them. Now that happened to that conversation was ultimately private. Someone got a wind of it and they reported on it. That was in 2022, one of the worst years for Xbox first party, right? So when obviously, and even I criticized Matt Booty for that because I'm like, that's probably something that should have been discussed via an email or at least where people couldn't hear you, because now it's being reported, and this is one of the worst years for the platform. I can't remember a worse year. And again, now we're in 2025, and we look back to when Matt Booty said that, and I believe that was during the like one of the big June events in 2022. And now we fast forward to 2025, and the amount of games that Xbox first party have coming out this year alone. I mean, if you think about it, what they've done this year just for Xbox, the Xbox platform, they open up the year with, of course, Avowed. Avowed's still my game of the year, though I'm going to be honest with you folks. I think that's going to change. Sorry. Oblivion is probably taking that crown, but fine. You got Oblivion. You got South of Midnight. You got Towerborn releasing. You had the 33 Immortals. I know I'm missing one. I know another one I'm missing. And you still have the second half of the year. Like, what are we? First of all, I don't know about you fine folks. I work out 4 and 5 days a week. I take care of the house. I live stream 5 days a week. And occasionally, I get some gaming in, which is madness. It used to be gaming was number one. Gaming is like fifth on the list. And I don't know if I'm touching anything else after what we saw today. Like, for me, nothing else will exist because I am going to get so enveloped into this world that I visited and beat the heck out of, 100 years ago. And now what we're seeing, a lot of the stuff I don't even remember. Like the guy that says everyone gets cheese. I don't even remember that. You know what I'm saying? So we're all fans. We all remember the horse armor stuff and everything. But guys, there's so much to get into. I want to catch up on super chats. We got a boatload of them. I'm going to come back to you guys. Of course, we're still waiting for Infinite Number. I have to text him. Maybe he fell asleep because he does work midnights. I sent the link to a bunch of people. See if anybody wants to pop in here. Maybe Mav will, get home from work and he can pop in for a little bit. The hype train is real, folks. But let me just catch up on super chats. The first one of the day comes from the Ancient One. He drops a very generous $5 super chat. He goes on to say, hype for this one. I was 28 when it dropped and practically lived in the club. Totally missed it. Brother, well, you know what? A, you're a Game Pass subscriber, hopefully. And B, you just won today. Merry Christmas in April. Because this is like Christmas. Do you, K-Now, the Broke Boy Insider, has gifted one Double Barrel Gaming membership. Will, thank you so much for this, brother. I know that you cannot wait to get down. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. If I can't buy this physically, I'm not going to be mad, but I want to buy this physically. Like, I was hoping that there would be at least I think we talked about this yesterday. Fuzzy Belvedere brought it up. Maybe what's the name of that company that makes all of the physical stuff? We talked about it yesterday. I can't remember their name. There's a company that makes Limited Run. There it is, Limited Run. Thank you, chat. Limited Run hopefully will make some sort of a physical collector's edition of this. It's probably going to be expensive from them because their stuff is expensive. That is a day one. Limited Run. If you're listening, which they're not, but if you are listening, two things. Let's have a partnership going. I help sell your wares because, we need sponsors. And, of course, do a limited collector's edition of Oblivion Remastered, please. Thank you. Kingfish737, who's been a channel member for a whopping 38 months. So Kingfish, salute to you, kind sir, for the outstanding generosity. He says, morning boom and panel, I need help. My backlog keeps increasing. Hashtag gaming is for everyone. Indeed it is. And that it's not fair. It's just, remember that whole thing for years that Xbox had no games. And now, unfortunately, PlayStation is kind of stuck with that a little bit. PlayStation has games thanks to Xbox. And that's why this multi-plat thing is big for Xbox, because they're going to be making money hand over fist. But Xbox, I think the mantra or the hashtag that should be started, besides Xbox better, Xbox butter, Xbox has too many games. They just really do. Starfield guy drops a very generous £5 super chat, and he says, I shed a tear watching this, folks. Brought me back 20 years to the original Oblivion midnight launch. This is how you do a remake / remaster with love. Brother, the GameStop that I went to for this midnight release 20 years ago literally just closed. It's just terrible. Like I had like 4 GameStops around me here in New Rochelle. They all closed. The only ones left are Central Avenue and another one in Yonkers. Central Avenue is the big one. So I got to go all the way up to Yonkers now to get my stuff. But I remember being online, and I went to that midnight launch. I really do miss those. I'm not going to front. Do you, K Now, the Broke Boy Insider, drops a very generous $5 super chat. He says, FYI, it doesn't appear, at least as for now, that there is a deluxe upgrade for the Xbox game for Game Pass version of Oblivion Remastered. He says it's $60 for the deluxe. I think that's if you buy it. The deluxe will, if you saw it, I mean, it's $10. It's a $10 upgrade. It was $9.99. I did it. My joint's downloaded, ready to go. But I don't want to. I really want to buy a physical. I hope that they do a physical of this. Xbox, if you're listening, and I know that some people at Xbox do listen to this show, this is one of those releases that absolutely needs a physical release. I would even dare say a collector's edition. And if I'm reaching here, and of course we're all greedy gamers, can you make a special edition wrap or controller? Can I keep asking? Because I'll buy it. I bought all the Doom stuff. I'm doing an unboxing on everything tomorrow, and it's going to be a one shot, one take. So if I mess up, that's what it's going to be. So I'm doing that tomorrow because I have the time. Xbox, we need a controller, we need a wrap, and we need a collector's edition forthwith. So Starfield guy drops an additional very generous £2 super chat and says, Oblivion Fire logo is a dynamic background now. Oh my God, they really went for it. Thank you so much, Starfield guy. I have to do that. I had my own Marvel vs. Capcom one. That's gone. I'm putting Oblivion on. We have Jimbo Jangles. Hey, our good friend all the way from the west side of the country. Welcome back, brother. Thank you so much for joining us. He drops a very generous $5 super chat. And he says, blown away by the second coming of Oblivion. I can't wait to dive in. Free horse armor for Game Pass subscribers. Just kidding. Hope you and the crew are doing well. Boom. Yeah, brother. Thank you so much for that. And that's where we're gonna pick up next. Why Kick a Moo Cow? This is such a great name. He drops, ladies and gentlemen, a $20 super chat all the way from down under, folks. Now today is Tuesday. Well, it's Wednesday where he is. Well, he says this after his very generous $20 super chat. Been up since 7 a.m. It is now 2 a.m. the next day, Australia time. Guess who isn't going to bed today? Let the pain commence, indeed, brother. Like, I don't know how you could sleep personally, because I know that I would not be sleeping. Like I said, I am going to skip out on my workout today. Like, I have everything ready to go. I'm just going to fold it up. As soon as this podcast is done, I'm running over there. I don't got to pick up Mrs. Boom until 4, so I'm going to get at least a solid 3+ hours of gaming. And then, look, I'm not going to front. The old man normally doesn't do this. She goes to sleep. I'm going out here, and I'm probably going to play for 6 more hours. It's crazy. We have here, Will the Broke Boy Insider drops an additional $2 super chat and says, I feel bad for Expedition 33, though this though this hurt them. You know, it's interesting. I'm talking to a couple of people in DMs, no names, because of course, that's private conversation. A lot of people are kind of upset at what's going to happen with. I don't think anything is going to happen with Expedition 33. I actually think it's going to sell better than they would have thought. It's a small team, and I'm not saying they don't deserve the flowers, because I'm excited for that. As a matter of fact, I bought that game. I was talking with Everborn this morning, and I know it's in Game Pass, but I bought the deluxe edition. It's not expensive. I wanted to support the dev. I know that sounds, some people are like, oh, boom, boo, you get it for Game Pass. There are certain instances where a game will come out and it'll be in Game Pass, and I'll buy it because I want to support the dev, and Microsoft does not own that studio. And you know what? It's a $60 sale for me. It matters. So maybe I don't play it today because of Oblivion, but I do see a lot of people push kind of, excited for Oblivion, but saddened for obscure, Expedition 33, simply because that has a lot of hype behind it, and it's gonna get a bit. I don't know how much overshadowed, maybe a bit overshadowed by this. I know, Jasper and the gang were talking about that last night on with Mav, and I could see why people are going to be upset, but I just think the Xbox is in a position where they literally have so many games that are coming out this year that they just have to release them. I'm not making excuses, but that's just my thought. Gotham Guy, welcome. As a matter of fact, I'm always going to be indebted to this man. My first E3 experience is thanks to this man's generosity. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. All those years ago, back in 2019, we were still relatively small. We couldn't get into the Xbox event. We tried. We never got picked. His +1, unfortunately, and hopefully he's well, wound up hurting his shoulder in the gym. And while, I'm literally just landed in LA, and I get a DM from Gotham Guy and says, hey, boom, my +1 is not going to be able to come. Do you want to join me? And like, friends for life. Like, honestly, I got a chance to meet him there. I got a chance to go to the Xbox event, and now I get a chance to go when they have them as press, which is, still ridiculously. I got to pinch myself every time I'm there. But Gotham Guy, I'm always going to be indebted to you, kind sir. Thank you so much for the generosity all the way back then, and of course the $10 super chat that he just dropped. He says, if there was no rule against Resident Evil 4 Remake being nominated for Game of the Year, then there should be nothing keeping Oblivion Remaster from being nominated except Keeley. That is a phenomenal point, kind sir. Fine point. So we have 4 more. I'll run through them. Let's see. We have Nightwolf 3186. Brother, great to see you here. Hopefully you and the family are doing well. He drops a very generous $10 super chat and says, gotta be honest, I was that skeptical fan that wasn't sure this was going to be that great, but boy, was I wrong. I cannot wait to get home. This plus Doom in less than a month. Thank you, Xbox/Bethesda. Yeah, indeed. We also have here Day Reezy. Salute to you, kind sir. Day, nice to see you in the chat. And thank you very much for the very generous $2 super chat, and says Game Pass for the win again. Ponies pay, Xbox play. Yeah, I think we're going to get some people to join Xbox Game Pass today, because it's just too much. Elemental PO has been a channel member for 37 months. Good to see you here, brother. Thank you for the outstanding support. Says Xbox should have a console for all of this gaming goodness. Oh, wait, they do. I love it. And Day Reezy drops an additional very generous $2 super chat and says, let's not forget, it's only April, more to come. Indeed. So, look, guys, let's talk about what's coming with this package. Now, Shivering Isles was the first DLC, right? Now, I believe is it Knights of the Nine? Is that what the second DLC was?
Yep.
Okay, so I am correct in saying so. Folks, I just want you to understand what just happened. Oblivion, Jamie, is already a 200 to 300 hour experience, especially if you're a nut like me, right? And wants to join every guild. Like, you want to join the Thieves Guild. You want to join this one and that one, and you want to do all the missions. These 2 DLCs were freaking massive, bro. You remember it. I remember playing Shivering Isles and being blown away on how much content was a part of that. You're getting everything, ladies and gentlemen. You are getting every piece of DLC and and additional content for the price of your Game Pass subscription. And if you're feeling froggy and you can spend $10 to get the upgrade, Jamie, the value proposition that was just shadow dropped is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, as much as I talk about how much I love Oblivion, I never actually got to play the DLC.
Holy
So,
cow, good for you, sir. Good for
yes.
you.
So maybe because I was young and I had no money, but still, now I'm going to experience that, and like the base game itself is ridiculous, right? That game kind of encourages you to walk rather than use a horse, so like the land seems bigger. But man, like I'm just so excited for everyone, right? Because like, yes, it is. I'm calling it a remake. But even though it is a remake and I've played it before, man, we've only had Skyrim since 2011, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean, to be fair, you and I had this conversation. If you remember last year when we were talking about that we still have to wait for the Elder Scrolls 6 to come, and then we
Yeah.
had that whole conversation of, oh man, when is the new Fallout? I'm going to be 60 when Fallout 5 finally releases, right? Bro, this is such a different game that it is going to be a new experience for new gamers, and it's going to be a new experience for old gamers. It is a double win, bro.
yeah, I mean, it's just an exciting time, man, because like, even though we had Skyrim in 2011, that's a great game with all of its like it has great UI, great combat, and all that stuff. Like Oblivion, like it's so iconic to the point where like again the music can be memed itself. Everything about this game was fantastic at the time, and it was one of those games you got in the early 360 days to show off the console because we never had an open world like that before. The way you could interact with all the objects and stuff, like there's nothing like it. And you know, millions of people have never played this game. They've only had Skyrim, and they've only
Yes.
had the Elder Scrolls Online. And if people want more of Skyrim, I highly recommend Elder Scrolls Online. It's basically Skyrim 2. But this game, right, it looks phenomenal. Like again, they've fixed every single thing I've wanted to be fixed, and even the leveling up thing, right? The leveling up is more like Skyrim, where it's more dynamic, and you can pick your own sort of class, or create your own sort of class. I mean, Oblivion had its own dedicated magic button. They didn't mention if that's been changed or not, but hey, I don't really care at this point. This looks like the perfect remake, and it gives me a lot of hope for Fallout 3 Remastered because that was on that leaked list as well. 2 years ago, and I'm guessing hypothetically that will drop when season 2 of the Fallout show releases next year. But yeah, it gives me a lot of hope for that, and I can only imagine what Fallout 3 is going to look like with this style of coat of paint.
Bro,
it's going to be incredible.
Yeah. Look, I know this is not part of the conversation, Psychonauts, but can I just say this right now?
Yes,
If it hasn't already happened, because I know that they're waiting on some things to get cleared up before they make any more announcements or moves. I'm going to say this, folks. I know this is crazy. Totally off subject, but on subject. If they don't purchase Virtuous immediately, shame on Microsoft. Because someone in the industry is gonna see this, and they're gonna see the remake, because that's what it is, of Metal Gear Solid 3. And you're gonna be like, my God, this is a talented team. Because I'm not saying that they can't make new games. I'm sure that they have. But this is one of the studios that know how passionate their fan base is, and could very well be in line to bring back older games. like we don't still know who's doing the rumored Marcus Phoenix collection. Like obviously I don't think it's them. They've already supposedly they're working on Fallout as well, which is freaking bonkers. But I know, again, totally off subject, but on subject, they need to be acquired so Microsoft could fund them correctly and work with them on other passion projects that are games that need like a remake or a remaster, whatever you want to call it. But let's get your thoughts, Psychonauts, on the value proposition here, because let's call a spade a spade. This game looks so good that if you put a different name to it and put it out on the store for $76.43 at after tax, or at your store and put it on the shelf, you're gladly lining up to pay for this thing. And you are not only getting the game, you are getting all of the DLC and additional content. That is crazy.
Yeah, the value in this game, what they put into it, and what the gamer is getting is way more than the $50 that they are charging, or even 60 for the extra for the deluxe edition, which it's still like that would have been Ubisoft would have charged $120 for this. Just plain and simple for what they're doing.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah.
And this would have been we would have sold out like leading up to this, and the news that was been breaking on X. I've been getting calls nonstop from people asking, is this game pre-orderable? Is this game pre-orderable? What is going on? Where's Oblivion? And the hype is crazy. And that is like just the general public. That's, we're excited. We're the hardcore gamers on X, always talking about, these great games. But when the casual public are calling me at the store about Oblivion, this is going to do gangbusters. This is something to show, hey, it's in Game Pass as well. You can't deny the value of Game Pass no more. Like, people can't say it there's no value. Why do I need it? Well, this is why you need it. Things like this, because Xbox always, I shouldn't say always, but they have the tendency of shadow dropping games and releasing quality products in the last couple of years. With everything that they've been doing with their new acquisitions with ABK, what they've done, with the Bethesda, they've made their money back with this Bethesda acquisition.
Yeah,
and it's just been hitting for them ever since.
Yep.
And it's insane. And just like I just saw on X, there's more content for like Diablo 4. So with Xbox, games are ongoing and new stuff is coming out. So it's always something. There's always value there with Xbox and the games that they're putting out, and especially with Game Pass. So it's just something that people have to stop the narrative of that. Game Pass is not sustainable. Game Pass is not worth the $19.99 entry fee for a month, which blows my mind. Like, how can you say that and put out all these games at no cost for you outside the $20, and that leaves you money to go pick up games that are, whatever tickles your fancy that you want to pick up,
Can
So,
we this is some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. So this game popped out an hour ago.
Yeah.
There are on Steam right now 45,000 concurrent players on Steam, bro. Like in game right now. I know 40, you're like, wow, big deal, 45,000. The game just dropped, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. Please continue.
No, and that's just, it's just really great to see Xbox in this situation they're in right now.
Yeah.
And I know they're switching directions with a lot of moves that they have been making. Some of it, with us old heads, it's it's a hard change for us, but the younger generation that is going to sustain these companies, they don't look at it as how we look at gaming now.
They play
So
wherever they play, and you got
exactly.
the audience that you're talking about. And again, this is where us old guys, right? Like I'm going to be 55 this year, right? We have to understand that the business model has changed. We have to understand that the audience that Psychonauts is referring to, like my nephew, right? He's 16. He'll play games anywhere. He doesn't care where. He's a Switch kid. He's a Nintendo, kid. But you give him a game to play, he's playing games on his phone. He's playing games on his tablet. He's playing games on his computer, wherever. That's the audience that doesn't care about these borders that we all grew up with, right? We all had these walled garden experiences because that's how the business was back in the days. Now, if they see a game that they like, let's say, for instance, like Oblivion, they don't really care what they play as long as they get their saves and stuff move over. And it looks like that's really happening with Xbox with the Play Anywhere. That's the model they're dreaming of. That's what's going to wind up happening. So you'll be able to literally start playing right now on your console. Go sit on, you have a doc's appointment, go play on your Razer, go play on your handheld, go play on your phone, and you're golden. Again, it's strange times we're living in there, Psychonauts.
Oh, 100%. And it's just great to see, Xbox is like now, and we're almost close into this next generation. We're almost at the halfway point of this year already, folks.
Yep.
So in a year and a half, the next gen is coming, and whatever handheld that they're going to come out with, or if they're just going to stick with the ROG Ally as their device, that they're if they don't see it being something they should work on, bring out a handheld, who knows? I'm hoping that they do, but in a year and a half, this generation, we're going to be looking at a lot of great product, and we still got Perfect Dark to look forward to.
Fable. You have Fable, and that's the other thing. Could you imagine that? And this is one of those instances. And I again, this is just speculation, right? Like there's no truth to this. I don't know for sure, but you have Avowed that came out, right? You have South of Midnight that came out. Doom is next month. 33 Immortals is an indie darling. I think a lot of people are playing it and enjoying it. You have Towerborn releasing into early access, which again is right up my alley because it is the side scroller and it's also an RPG. I cannot wait to get into that. You have this shadow dropping today. You had Ninja Gaiden 2 Black shadow drop the other day. Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out. You obviously have the new Call of Duty releasing. And of course, Fable pushed one of those things. They have so many games. Like, you know what? Let them cook. That's what Avowed did, and look how Avowed turned out. And Jamie, every time you post a screenshot, I beat the game. I'm waiting on a new game plus, and every time I see your screenshots, I'm like, or see your gameplay, I'm like, my God, did I play this game wrong? Did I actually play this game wrong? That's how I feel. Every time I watch someone play the game, I'm like, God damn it. I never played in third person. I only played in first person as a magic user. Now I want to play in third person as a fighter. Like and when do you have the time for that, Psychonauts? That's really what it comes down to. Like, again, this is a 300-hour game. And I don't know about anybody. I am no lifing this game. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to play my Call of Duty. I'm going to check in, do my my battle pass and all my other stuff, because that's a quick in and out kind of a thing. I'm no lifing this game. This is getting all of my time. It's just crazy. And the value, again, we go right back to the value, gentlemen, is just, it's insane. Like, it is unbelievable that you are getting this much stuff for the price of admission. Now, granted, even if you were buying this game, you still win. You are getting so much content. You're getting all the DLC. You're getting all the expansions, and it's redone in Unreal Engine 5. It is. They hired people to, the one-to-one, the voiceovers. It's the work that went into this. And again, I before we get on out of here, I will catch up on super chats, but I do have a question for you guys. And this is, I think, a silly but serious, raging question on the interwebs. Why did they call this a remaster? Because this is, by definition, just what you've seen. And Jamie, I think you're going to attack this like a wild dog. This is a remake. This is redone from the ground up. I mean, it's not. The mechanics have been fixed. You can at least now freaking sprint on the horse, and while you're just running around, which was great because you had to just slog it around all over the place. Why? I mean, are they trolling us? Was it to lower expectations because they didn't think we were going to find it be important? I don't have an answer for this, Jamie. Do you?
I honestly don't know. I have a slight theory, and I think it's because people interchange remaster and remake all the time now, and I think it has something to do with the fact that you have different kinds of remakes, right? You have Final Fantasy VII and the Resident Evil 2 remake, right? They take fundamentally the same story, but it's completely different game when it comes to gameplay, world design, basically everything else, right? Remake. Then you have something like Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Every asset is built from scratch, all new rendered cutscenes, redirected cutscenes, but it's called a remaster, even though it's a remake. And I think it's just for marketing purposes at this point, because maybe if people hear the term remake, they think it's going to be a whole new world with a whole new story told. That's just my theory.
I mean, it's a good theory. It's definitely a good theory. Farscape in the chat says they call it a remaster, Jamie, because they claim that the original game is the brain and the Unreal Engine 5 is the new body. And they did say that in the in the video that you're watching. You can't hear it obviously because you got to hear us talk. But I've watched now when by the time this is done, I've watched this video 6 times and I want to watch it again. I really do, but I want to play the game. So we're going to get out of here in probably the next 5 or 10 minutes. I'll get Psychonauts' last points on this. I'll read the super chats. And folks, come back for the rest of the week. Obviously, Primetime Gaming, I'm sure we're going to be talking about this at some point. And you know what's crazy, gentlemen? Not so much a topic today. I think we're going to kind of address it tomorrow. But just look at the fanfare Xbox has had in the last 72-ish hours, right? Like Doom, The Dark Ages gets a big showing at WrestleMania 41. You had several of the combatants dressed up as characters from Doom, The Dark Ages, right? Everyone's talking about it. The new trailer is just complete madness. And then just a couple of days later, you have, yesterday you had everyone talking about WrestleMania, everyone talking about this announcement from Bethesda saying, be there tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is what we get. We get this unbelievable display of one of the probably the best RPGs of all time, remade from the ground up. It looks great. I don't know what it sounds like because we didn't really get a chance to hear, but just look what's on your screen. Like, that is a game from 2006, Psychonauts. I mean, Xbox is absolutely flying high, and that is coming off of games releasing in a couple of months, the showcase happening in 5.5 weeks. You open up the year with Avowed, of course. Then you had South of Midnight come out to, it's a critical acclaimed darling. And you know what's great? South of Midnight is now starting to get some buzz. Why? Why is it? Because Ryan Coogler just released a film called Sinners, and in that they have Haynes as well. So there is some one-to-one with it, and I hope that everyone, including like the Black Viking, shout out to him, went to see it a second time. It's right up me and Mrs. Boom's alley. First of all, we love Ryan Coogler as a director. We love horror films, and who doesn't like Michael B. Jordan? Like, wow. And that is lining up with the same kind of lore in South of Midnight. I hope a lot of people see that. I hope that Xbox picks up the phone. By the way, and again, it's totally off subject, folks, and gives Ryan Coogler a call and says, hey, do you want to direct a feature film about South of Midnight? Because what he did in Sinners is very close. And Ryan Coogler is an Academy Award winner director. I'd be on the phone with him like right now. But again, sorry for the tangent, folks. This is what kind of goes on with these podcasts. Let's get your final thoughts on the remake versus remaster.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the chat with the one gentleman that said that UE5 is the beauty, and the original game is the body, and this is the brain, or whatever he said. But I get it. Like, I get why they went remastered, because they didn't do it from the ground up. They didn't totally scrap the game. They used what was there.
Yeah, they used
as
the
a
bones.
foundation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
use the bones. Yep.
The foundation was there. They used it. They beautified it, and that is something. Again, they say it's a remaster, but it looks like a remake, and that's what when you pick up a game that's a remaster, that's what you expect to see. Night and day stark differences. Not you have to look at a screenshot and be like, look at the hair strands. You see, it's just that much more detailed than this one versus our game that came out 3 years ago. This is a perfect remaster, and I think this game is going to be talked about a lot. Sorry to Expedition 33. I'm excited to play that game as well. I'm going to be jumping between the both somehow.
Yeah, me too. I'm probably going to be bouncing between both because I want to play it. It is, again, they said it's a 30-hour experience, not for guys like me and Umbra. And speaking of Umbra, here he is. There he is, Umbra. What's going on, brother? Speaking of the devil, he showed up. How you doing?
Hey, Boom, what's up? I was here for a little while back here.
My God, I'm sorry. I'm on a whole other screen. That is awful. We'll get your thoughts on this before we get on out of here. But please continue, Psychonauts, and then we'll bring Umbra in and get his hot take on this, because this is Mr. Unreal Engine 5. If you didn't already know Psychonauts.
I've heard. I heard great things. No, this game looks amazing, and I don't know if Umbra I've seen the trailer yet, but holy shit, this is this is a whole new game from what it looks like, and I can't wait to experience it again and be able to play some of the DLC, because I didn't get to play the last DLC for
Knights of the Nine. Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna also get into Expedition 33. That's a shorter game, so I might play that through real quick and then hop back in into Oblivion until Doom comes out. So no, it's a gorgeous looking game.
It's just I keep seeing a lot of people in here, like Nine Lives 210 says let me see exactly what he said. Where are you? Nine Lives. He said, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect the remaster to be this good. Like, I don't think honestly, we saw some of the still screens, and they did do some one-to-ones when it leaked. And I'm like, my God, Umbra, you're Mr. Unreal Engine 5. You are also Mr. RPG, open world. You and I are kindred spirits, brothers from another mother for sure. This is going to be for you a no-life game. This is going to be for me a no-life game. You got a chance to see it. I don't know if you played the original. I'm sure that you did. But wow. My God, what a step up from 2006 to what we saw today. And mind you, we talked about it earlier, Umbra, the value proposition of what you're getting in this game with every piece of DLC and every expansion for $50 or $60, $59.99. Even if you're buying this game, you as a gamer, wherever you're buying it, you have officially won. It's Christmas 2.0 in April. Let's get your thoughts, man.
Yeah, Boom. I played this game many moons ago. It's crazy to see this almost 20 years later.
Almost 20 years. Yep.
It is on my Mount Rushmore of gaming.
Yep.
To see it in Unreal like this, and how beautiful it looks, and how they, corrected a lot of things from mouth syncs to effects when you're hitting and attacking people, and sword effects when you're blocking or having your weapons clash, and all of that. It looks gorgeous. I'm I'm really blown away by how great it looks. I'm actually really excited. I'm excited enough where, despite me having Game Pass, I might actually buy this just because.
I'm waiting to see if they do a collector's edition, a physical one, before I buy it, because I will buy a physical collector's edition. And we talked about it. I said my hope and my wants is that this garners so much goodwill from the community that they say, hey, listen, we are going to do one. Maybe if they don't, if Xbox and Bethesda don't, maybe limited run games will, because they always get involved with them. Xbox has recently been added to the list of stuff, because remember, it used to be just PlayStation and Switch. Now Xbox has their games as they're on there as well. This is one of those instances where if they could remake the box art for and a cartridge, a look, like a look-like cartridge for Battletoads, they could do one for this, right? So I mean, again, I already bought the $10 upgrade fee. I will buy this game physically if it's available. That's why I haven't jumped into the $60. Hey, I don't mind it. I have a Microsoft points. Will probably pay for this and then some. But I'm like you. I want a collector's edition. I want to put this side by side with the original from 2006, which, by the way, I have in storage, perfectly mint condition.
Did they have a $10 upgrade for this one too?
Yes, it's $10. Yes.
And what that'll get you, like the
you get a bunch of armor, you get a bunch of weapons. I'll be honest with you. I saw it, I got excited. It's like a black and gold cover. It looks like a book, and I was like, $10 spent. Okay. And I didn't even look at what it had. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just spent the money.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that then right now, and then probably buy it actually. But you know what? It has I know it has one of the things is the Maroon's Razor pack that comes with it, which is like some of the best weaponry you can get in the game for sure. So yeah, I'm actually really hyped. I'm actually also hyped to see what mods people will come up for this thing. But yeah, no man, I'm blown away. It looks dope. Seeing even Sir Patrick Stewart with the hair redone over here. As the king looks excellent. I mean, seeing the guards bringing back memories with the "stop right there, criminal scum." Like, yeah, it just brings back good memories for me, man. This is just like it's just taking me back, honestly. And again, it's one of my Mount Rushmore. So I'm going to jump in with high expectations, and I'm going to see how it plays. And from what we've seen, just from what they've shown, it looks spectacular. I expect to actually be blown away by it. So I'm really happy with what they did here, honestly. So yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to Steam right now. Oh wow, check so we talked about this before. The game just came out. It had 40. Hazardor Gaming actually had posted this. 25,000 concurrent players, and this was, when did he post this? This was at 12:08. Okay, so we're 12:46. I have the current number. It was 45,000 20 minutes ago. It is now at almost 63,000 concurrent players. This will probably break 100, 200,000 players by the end of the day. This is going to take over the zeitgeist of the conversation. There's just no doubt about it.
Speaking of which, they're doing it 2 days before Expedition 33.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that. Everyone kind of feels bad. I bought that game. I bought the deluxe edition because I wanted to support the studio. This is this is before this Oblivion thing happened, because again, it's a small French studio that is punching way above their weight, like way from what we've seen, way above their weight, and it is going to be a game that people are going to play. It's just unfortunate that Microsoft is in a position, more specifically Xbox, where they literally have so many games releasing this year. They just have to release their games. Everyone's trying to dance around GTA 6, which is going to potentially happen in the last quarter of the year, and we're not sure when that is. Is that November? Is it October? Is it December? Is it before then? Is it in September? Who the heck knows? But whenever that game is going to come out, everybody's got to get the F out of its way, because it's going to be the game that everybody's going to buy and play. And if you release a game around there, you're just not going to get any play. That's just a fact. So they have to figure it out. And unfortunately, this is a big monster-sized RPG. Everyone is excited for it. I mean, just look at the buzz on the socials. This is trending like on 10. Type in any word that has Oblivion in it, and it's trending right now.
And for good reason.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
for good reason.
Again, it's one of us. If it's not a masterpiece, it is very near it. Honestly,
Yes.
as far as Western RPGs and gaming goes in general, so for good reason, it is trending. And I'm imagining a lot of players are, who enjoyed it in the past are hyped as hyped as me or more. Honestly, and it's on every platform. It's on PlayStation. It's on PC. It's on Xbox.
Yep.
It's a W in general for Bethesda. I know they're happy about this too. So I'm excited. I might actually get started downloading this once we get out of here.
I started downloading it. I had looked on my phone. I said, you know what? Let me just look at my phone. Because shout out to Wandering Dutch, who had actually DM'd us. And I was like, yep, I was going to take the picture and just send it. I went to my phone because they updated the phone app and everything is there. You could buy games, you could download games, you could take games off of your hard drive when you need room. And I did all of that and I saw it. I'm like, oh my God, it's there. And well, here we are, folks. Listen, let me just rewind the footage while I do catch up on super chats, and then we're going to get everyone out of here, folks, because I'm not trying to be selfish. I want to play the game.
By the way, Boom, did you see the live numbers?
No.
So when the live stream was going on the official Bethesda YouTube account, there was 570,000 people watching live.
Whoa!
And on the official Xbox YouTube account, there was 70,000 people watching live.
See, there you go. I mean,
so people are into it.
People are into it, indeed. They absolutely are. So we have Michael Guzman. He doesn't just gift one double barrel gaming image. So Michael, thank you so much for the generosity. He became a channel member the other day. He has gifted, donated also a $2 super chat and says, I'm Oblivion Virgin. Good for you, Michael. That is a good, that you are going to enjoy this. Again, there is a part where you walk out of prison that you're going to experience for the first time. That is just going to blow your mind. And this is, like I said, folks, gamers won today. I know, I know, again, some people who like the console war stuff is going to throw some virtual tomatoes at me, and that's fine. I'm a big boy. I could take it. Gamers won today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care where you game. I don't care if you're a PC guy or gal, you play in PlayStation, or you love Xbox like me, and you consider yourself to be a bot. That's fine. This is one of those games that whether you are a veteran of Bethesda RPGs or someone that just found them recently through Starfield or whatever, I'm here to tell you that this is by far, at least in my personal opinion, and I know that Umber said he has it on his Mount Rushmore. This is my favorite RPG of all time. Like, it is like number one on that Mount Rushmore, and we're getting a remade version of this from the ground up with every piece of DLC, every expansion, and all for your Xbox Game Pass subscription. Or, of course, if you buy the games, even at $60, it is a redonkulous kind of a steal. And again, as a gamer, as just a gamer, not a Xbox gamer, PlayStation gamer, or PC gamer, as a gamer, you won today. This is Christmas in April. That's what this is. That's what we got here today. Your baby's father drops a very generous $5 super chat. It goes on to say, Virtuous had over 5,000 employees. Microsoft isn't adding that many people to. I mean, I get it. I mean, they do have a lot. It is a big studio. It's not a small studio, but it's one that they should definitely put pen to page and ink some deals with, because this is a perfect example of how amazing that studio is. And again, mind you, this is not the only thing releasing from them this year. You also have Metal Gear Solid 3, which looks ridiculous and better every time we see it. I hope that they're tasked to remake Metal Gear Solid 1. That is my favorite Metal Gear of all time. We have Gamer by Choice says this after dropping a very generous $2 super chat. I'm 53 and I've always wanted an all games everywhere world. Yeah, brother. I mean, you got it. Everyone got it today. This is, again, we all won. We all won. Gamers won today. Nino Vestic, our generous friend all the way from Hawaii. Well, hopefully you and the family are doing well. Aloha to you. He drops a very generous, he has gifted 1 Double Barrel Gaming membership, as he's done many times before. So thank you so much for the generosity. And we have 2 more $2 super chats from Do You, K Now, the Broke Boy Insider. The first one of $2 says, Oblivion Remastered just hit 62K on Steam. That is bonkers. And of course, there he goes. Double Barrel Gaming. Don't you do it, Boom. Damn it. And I stole his points. Sorry, Will. He's always getting his points. And I didn't read it. I just happened to go to the site. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to hold you up anymore. The game is there. People are probably playing and listening to the podcast. I would imagine that the rest of the week, we're going to be gushing over this. I'm going to record some footage. Again, just the opening, so there's no spoilers. But look, I want to thank the near 600 people we had here today. I know that we started the show super early, literally half an hour early. That's because I could not wait to get this party started. I want to thank Psychonauts for joining us, of course, the Elusive Gamer and Umbra are regulars here. They are, part of the show on a weekly basis. And I want to thank everybody for the generous super chats, channel member chats, and the continued support with channel membership. Mrs. Boom and I are always going to be incredibly grateful for this outstanding generosity. But let's get everyone out of here. And Jamie Moran, we'll start first with you, kind sir. Sell the brand. Obviously, tonight's show with you and Logan Meyer at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is probably going to be covering Oblivion and its remaster release today. Please tell everyone where they can tune in to that show happening tonight. Subscribe to the Jamie Moran or the Elusive Gamer YouTube channel. And more importantly, where could people follow you on the social medias?
Yeah, thanks, Boom, for having us on once again. It's always great to be on the show. So yeah, my YouTube channel is The Elusive Gamer. I make Xbox-centric content, no fanboy stuff over there whatsoever. It's always a good time over there, especially on the podcast, All Things Xbox podcast on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Oblivion. I mean, my download's still going to be going on anyway. But it should be a good time. I've got a list of all the details, everything that's been changed in the game. A bunch of other games we're going to be talking about as well. It's going to be a fun time over there. So that's 6 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel, The Elusive Gamer. I also do Twitter, or X, which is Jamie Moran UK, which is exclusively gaming and jokes.
Indeed. Shout out to Nino Vestix. Does anyone want to win on Black Ops 6? Hit me up. He's Prestige Master level 160. I just got to a Prestige Master level, what am I? 58, 59, something like that. I'm that's another game I know, like the game as well. Shout out to Nino Vestic for being that good in Black Ops. I'm not bad for myself for an old man, but Psychonauts, brother, where can people follow you on social media? And what else you got going on, brother?
Thanks for having me, Boom. Yeah, everybody, you can follow me on X, or you can find me on the Fun Speculation Network. When I'm not working, I'm usually there. But what a great day for gamers, and I can't wait. I got this thing downloading as we speak. So awesome to be here. Thank you, chat, for being great people, and love y'all.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here, brother. And you're always welcome. Anytime you're free, shoot me a DM. We'll get you in. Doesn't matter what show. So we're happy to have you. Great. Really appreciate you jumping on today. And we'll see you definitely soon. Even in Umbra, I would imagine that there's a lot to get into. You have a lot to get into for this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with yourself and Daniel McGee on the fix. Obviously, WrestleMania 41 happened. Doom showed up in a big way. That's Marketing 101. And of course, the same company in the same week, Bethesda drops a megaton bomb in the form of Oblivion Remastered. And obviously it's $60. It is a shadow drop. It's available for everyone to play across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And my God, what a week for Bethesda. Sell the brand, brother. I know that's going to be a big conversation, or at least part of the big conversation on Thursday. And of course, you're going to get a couple of days of play in there. Talk about it. Where can people subscribe to The Fix? Check you guys out this upcoming Thursday. And more importantly, follow you on social media.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's crazy. I feel spoiled as a Game Pass subscriber. I'll say that, and it's honestly crazy because now this is going to push all the other games I haven't finished yet to the side.
Bye. See you later.
It's kind of crazy. That said, yeah, man, you know, it's crazy too because I watched the trailer for the not the trailer, but the announcement and everything, all of this, and dozed off immediately right after. I think I even saw the chat. It was like, "Hey, going live," and I was like, "Yeah, all right." Anyway,
it's understandable. You work midnights, brother.
Yes. So apologies for that, but yeah, thanks for jumping in, Psychonauts, man. I appreciate you, brother. And of course, for you guys holding it down. If you guys want to look for me, you can find me on social media, Infinite Umbra or Umbra Infinite. You'll find me either way. As Boom alluded, the fix this Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern is myself and Daniel J. McGee. We're going to have two guests. That is Santi Lou and Ryan, who are husband and wife. And we might have Rand. He might join in. I hit him up. He talked with me, said he'll see what's up, and he might be able to come through as well. Definitely, we'll be talking about WrestleMania, and we'll have the news breakdown, which will have stuff like Oblivion and everything else in there too. So, for sure, come by and check us out this Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern, if you guys could.
Well, it's going to be fun, brother. And, you know, again, you guys do a great job over there. You have a great chemistry with one another. You go back and forth. And sometimes, you know, Daniel goes off especially when you talk about Nintendo. You ever want to see a rant and someone that has a really nasty distaste for Nintendo? Check out their show. It's hilarious. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here. Again, thank you for joining us early. Normally, we followed a schedule, but I was so excited and I just could not wait. I felt myself pacing and I'm like, you know what? Let's get the show done. Let's have a good, entertaining, fun show, excitement, conversation, get a couple of guests in here. And of course, now everyone is going to stop what you're doing and you're going to go play the game if you're not already playing. But of course, for Infinite Number, for Jamie Moran, of course, Psychonauts, thank you so much for tuning in today's exciting podcast, celebrating the release of the Oblivion remaster. I'm still calling it a remake. I don't care. But thank you again. Yeah. Shout out to Xbox or Mike. I know some people have answered. Just for some context before we get on out of here and we roll credits, the original Oblivion was 4.6 gigs for the Xbox 360. This is 123 gigs. Just do the math. This is like legit. And I really think this is going to be in the game. Xbox could have several games. I think Doom is going to be a Game of the Year contender. I think Oblivion Remastered is going to be a Game of the Year contender. I think even, why am I drawing a blank? Avowed could be at least right now. I know that I may teeter towards this, but Avowed is my current Game of the Year. That was a great game, a freaking great game. So they could have several in there. We will see. This year is absolutely bonkers. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here. A big thank you once again for everyone tuning in. Please hit the like button. If you're finding the channel, let's say for the first time, Mrs. Boom and I are 121 subscribers away from 16K, ladies and gentlemen, and you can help us get there by simply subscribing. And if you enjoyed the content, I do this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 5 live streams where we have fun, we talk games, and of course, we celebrate being gamers. But that's going to do it for us. Again, I'm going to close the show with something that's incredibly important to me. Hopefully, one day, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week on the newest episode of the Xbox Factor Podcast.